Holy bananas. I haven't even started and I'm already dying. I'm so hot. Welcome back, guys. I don't know what that was. And I keep kicking the freaking camera. I like to play it off like my films are a bit of a disaster because I'm really tired on any given day, but I think it's just me. I think this is just my life. This is just how I am. Like it or leave it, I guess. I am not a perfectly polished, poised princess. I am me. Anyways, that's a weird preamble. Welcome back. This is video number 2 of the Rainbow series, and if you can't tell from what's going on in my face and by the title of the video, we're talking about orange. So let's do this. In my red video, I started with lipsticks, so today let's start with eyeshadows. Looking at the spread in front of me, I only have lipsticks and eyeshadows to talk about because I don't have much else that's orange. So let's dive into it. First up, Huda Beauty Electric Obsessions palette. There are a ton of shades in here to choose from, but we're talking about the orange, and I really like this one just because it's so different from all the other oranges that you'll see out there. It's almost, I mean, electric is the perfect word to describe it because it is so vibrant, pretty much a neon coral, really. It's not a true orange, but it does have a pink. My lighting sucks, man. Everything looks yellow, and I don't know how to fix that. I'm sure there's like a white balance setting on my camera somewhere, but I don't know how to do that. But trust me, it is an electric coral shade, and I love it. I really like it. This is the only shadow from the bunch I'm going to talk about that I don't have on my eyes today, just because it's so vibrant that it didn't really gel with everything else, but suffice it to say that I really do like it. Moving on to the Urban Decay Born to Run palette, there is an orange in here that I am particularly drawn to, and it is this one right here, which is the shade Baja. And it's like a nice, deep, rusty shade. There it is there. And it just has that nice depth to it that makes it very wearable, but it's something different than just a warm brown. It adds a little bit of something extra to eye looks. It's particularly flattering if you want to pair it with purples. The contrast between the two is really pretty. I can prove my point, I suppose, and just run a purple beside it. So the two of them are quite complementary, or you could pair it with blue and it's going to look really beautiful as well, or golds, basically whatever you want. But I really like this orange simply because A, the performance of it is there. It's a very smooth texture and it blends very beautifully, but I just really like the shade of it overall. And that is what I have along my lower lash line and then towards the outer edge of my eyes today. As my transition shade today, I used Early Bird from Makeup Geek. There it is. It's almost a mustardy kind of color, but still remains orange. But again, it's just got that nice earthiness to it. There it is there. That again makes it unique, but still wearable without being odd. Like you can wear this and it's not going to look so far outside of the box that you're going to pull stairs. If that's your thing, go for it. Been there, done that. But I like this for an everyday look. It's really nice and warm when it's all buffed out into the transition or the crease area of your eye. And it again pairs very well with a multitude of other shades. And honestly, for $6 a pan, you can't go wrong with Makeup Geek. You really can't. On the center of my lid today, I am wearing, what is this, Flamepoint from Sugarpill. And that's one of their single shadows as well. And this one I'd say is probably the truest orange of the bunch. There it is there. And again, the pigmentation is there. It blends beautifully. It's not patchy at all. And it's just a nice vibrant orange without being neon so that it is still wearable, although orange, and a true orange. And I'm just saying the same things over and over again because that's kind of what I look for in bolder colors. It's not enough for me to just wear a bright ass orange for the sake of wearing a bright ass orange. I want to be able to create different looks with it, and all of these shadows that I'm talking about today lend themselves to that just through their performance and through their actual tones and colors. Moving on to shimmery shadows, I have one here from Strobe Cosmetics. This is in the shade Lustrous Lily. Now I know they have sort of renamed a number of their shadows, and I don't know if this one is one of them, but at any rate, when I bought it maybe 4 or 5 months ago, it was Lustrous Lily. And there it is there. And it's not it's not a duochrome kind of shade, but it just catches the light really nicely. I have it on the inner portion of my eyes today, and it's just a nice little pop of color to add to other shadows. The only thing I would caution on these Strobe Cosmetic pans are that they are quite delicate, and they can become a little bit crumbly in the pan, so you want to make sure that you put it in a safe place. And I wouldn't necessarily use them for travel purposes. I would just house them in a nice little drawer somewhere where they're not going to get knocked about. 2 more shadows. One is from Colourpop, and this is in the shade I Like You. And it's quite different. It's sort of an orangey yellow, really. And it has little bits of glitter throughout it, or shimmer, I suppose. It's really quite fine. There it is on my finger. And there. So this one is the most subtle of the bunch, obviously, but still has that nice orangey undertone to it. I'm wearing it in my inner corner today and along the brow bone as well. Not a shade that I would typically go for inner corner and brow bone, but it worked with the rest of the shadows that were going on, so I went for it. Ain't nothing wrong with that, right? I'm going to throw this next one in. It's not really orange, but it wasn't red enough to fit into the red category either, and at this point, I'm not anticipating doing a metallics sort of category, but this is just too pretty not to share with you. Fucking stunning. It is from, she's a lady named Tammy Chinuka. That's the Instagram channel that she operates under, but her brand that she sells through Etsy is called Sigil Inspired. I'll link it down below simply because it's difficult to find. She's based in Russia. These are about, I think, $6 Canadian, $6 Canadian, that's right. And then the shipping was like $10 for 5 of them. It was a fantastic deal. They all come with Russian writing on the bottom, so I had to look at my order history. It's actually called Magician of Fire, and I can't even begin to pronounce because I don't read the Russian alphabet. But if you go onto the Etsy shop and search Magician of Fire, you will find it. So I'll stop rambling and show it to you. Now I'm going to put a little bit of a primer onto my hand because these are very fine loose pigments. They're almost, I want to use the word dust, but not in a negative way. They're just very, very finely milled. And I mean, here's just in the lid. See how reflective it is. And they're just loose. There's no sifter, so I don't want to dump it too far. But wait for it. It's worth it. Just have a little faith. Okay. I hope this camera will do it justice because this is, it's stunning. It's so beautiful. It's so reflective. The camera is not doing it justice. It's like a true copper, and it's not duochromatic, but it's almost multi-tonal because it's just so reflective that when the light's not directly on it, it looks darker, and then the light hits it and it's bright, and it's so beautiful and shimmery. You do need a base for it, like you do need to use a primer for it, but once you apply it with the primer, it's going to last like that. It's so finely milled that there's no weight to it whatsoever, and I cannot explain to you how beautiful it is. And I have others from her, and pretty much every single one that I have is out of this world beautiful, but this one in particular, I just like looking at it in the pan because it's so pretty. I sound like a gigantic geek, but I think we've all been there before. This one is my jam. That one I do have patted on my lips today. I am wearing, we'll jump into lipsticks now. I'm wearing one from Colourpop. This is in the shade Trapeze. That is what I have on my lips with the sigil inspired powder on top, just for a little bit of something, something. So here is, oh crap, I suck at swatches, man. There. So there is Trapeze, and it is so beautiful. It does have a little bit of red in it to help keep it wearable. I find wearing just a strict, straight orange, which I am fine doing, but it's not always the most wearable, and it doesn't necessarily fit well within my comfort zone, although you add just a hint of red to it and I will rock that all day long. These are beautiful, and these Luxe lipsticks, I've got another one to talk about. Freaking love the Luxe lipsticks. I do have a video on them. I'll stick it up in the cards just for the lols, but they are just so comfortable and I love them so much. So Foolish is the other one that I have to talk about, and this one is more rusty. So this one just reminds me straight up of fall, and this is sweater weather and tall boots and pumpkin spice lattes all in a lipstick, and it makes me kind of excited for fall. Don't tell the nice warm weather that, but it really kind of does. Okay, I've got two more lipsticks to talk about. The next one is from Eumara. This is in the shade MOR. I don't hear many people talk about Eumara, and I really haven't tried, I don't think, anything except from this, and maybe a little bit of skincare just from samples, but I really like this lipstick, and I'm wondering if the rest of their makeup is as nice. So there it is here. This one's a little bit more true orange than the other two, but a nice matte finish, and again, very comfortable on the lips as well. Last but not least, there is another Colourpop product. This is from their collaboration with Kathleen Lights, and this is some French word that I'm going to butcher. Rever? Rev? I don't know. You'd think being Canadian at least have some basic French knowledge, but not so much. And there is the shade here. Again, it has just a hint of red in it, not as much as Trapeze, but just a touch, just to help make it a little bit easier to wear while still being very bright and definitely orange. I used it as a liner today, so I just picked some of it up off of the doe foot with my EO6 winged liner brush from Sigma, and just used that like I would a gel liner, and there it is there, just to keep with the monochromatic orange theme of the video. Yellow's going to be a bit of a beast, but that's a problem for future Kara. So for today, this video is now finished. Again, as I said with my red video, I'll say it again with my orange video. I would love to hear what some of your favorite orange products are. Lipsticks, eyeshadows, what have you, let me know. And thank you for taking the time to watch. I will see you in my next one. Until then, just be a decent human being. Bye for now.